3 years ago, a family sold their apartment in Taipei's Neihu district and moved to a brand new building near the A7 MRT station in Taoyuan. The math was simple: Taipei's new apartments were out of reach, the old ones felt dangerous in a city that sits on fault lines, and the suburbs promised modern construction at a fraction of the cost. The decision felt rational at the time. Now, the family describes their neighborhood as a retirement community, and they're not retired. The problem isn't the apartment itself. It's everything around it. The MRT trains don't run frequently enough to make commuting comfortable. The Linkou interchange, the main artery connecting the area to Taipei and the rest of northern Taiwan, is clogged with traffic almost every day. And after 11 at night, the neighborhood essentially shuts down. The only places still open are convenience stores. Want dinner? You're ordering delivery or driving somewhere else. The family posted their experience on PTT, Taiwan's largest online forum, and the response was swift. A7 was never meant for people who actually live there. That comment reveals something deeper about how Taiwan's housing market has warped under pressure. Taipei's house price-to-income ratio hit 15.41 in 2025, meaning the median home costs more than 15 times the median household's annual income. That makes it the second most expensive city in Asia to buy property, trailing only Hong Kong. For context, a ratio above 5 is generally considered unaffordable. Taipei is triple that threshold. Young professionals in their 20s and 30s earn between 35,000 new Taiwan dollars and 45,000 new Taiwan dollars per month, roughly $1,100 to $1,400 US. A typical 3-bedroom apartment in Taipei now sells for over 36 million new Taiwan dollars, or about $1.2 million. The numbers don't add up, so people leave. They move to places like A7, a massive planned development zone built around a single MRT station on the airport line. The area was designed as part of Taoyuan's urban expansion, meant to absorb overflow from Taipei and create a new residential hub near the international airport. On paper, it works: lower prices, new buildings, direct rail access to the capital. In practice, it's a bedroom community in the most literal sense. People sleep there. They don't live there. The infrastructure that makes a neighborhood functional, frequent public transit, late-night restaurants, grocery stores within walking distance, a traditional market, never fully materialized. The MRT runs, but not often enough. A few chain supermarkets opened, but they're spread out. After dark, the street's empty. One resident described it as having limited amenities that are slowly improving, but not fast enough. Another said the only reason to tolerate it is the price. Even real estate analysts acknowledge the drawbacks. One industry expert told Mirror Media that yes, these are all real problems with A7, but that's exactly why it's cheap. This is the trade-off Taipei's housing crisis forces on people: financial stability in exchange for isolation. The city's affordability problem didn't happen by accident. It's the result of decades of policy choices that treated housing as an investment vehicle rather than a necessity. Speculative buying, limited land supply, and weak taxation on property ownership pushed prices beyond the reach of ordinary earners. When the government tried to address it with affordable housing projects, the scale was too small to make a dent. So people moved outward, to places like A7, where developers could build fast and cheap on newly zoned land. But commuter towns don't become real communities overnight. They require sustained investment in transit, retail, nightlife, and public spaces, the kind of infrastructure that takes years to build and even longer to feel natural. A7 is still waiting. The residents who moved there expecting a compromise between affordability and convenience are realizing they got one but not the other. Some are already regretting it. Online forums are full of comments like "Don't buy in Linko," "It's not fit for living," and "A7 is for investors who rent it out, not for people who actually stay there." The family from Nahu is stuck in the middle of a much larger failure, a housing market that punishes people for wanting both stability and a life outside their apartment. They escaped Taipei's prices, but they also escaped its infrastructure, its density, its options. What they're left with is a neighborhood that feels like a waiting room, functional, sterile, and designed for people who are always about to leave. The only advantage, they say, is that it's cheap. But cheap isn't the same as affordable when it costs you everything else.